In this quick video, we're going to take a look at a new flashlight on the market. It's the TX11 from the folks at Night Provision. That's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So, first off, let me get this right out of the way. The folks at Night Provision were kind enough not only to send me one of these TX11 flashlights so I could show it to you, but also to be a financial sponsor for this video. So what I thought I would do, that being the case, is I haven't even put the batteries in this thing yet. We're going to test this together here on camera so you can see there's no hocus pocus, no smoke, no mirrors, no strings, nothing up my sleeves. We're going to do just a straight up honest test of this light, talk about the features of it. I'm going to do my absolute best job to demonstrate it, to test it, and in a reasonable fashion so you can have enough information to decide if this might be a good light for you. So first of all, we'll just talk about real quickly, right out of the box, the production quality, the build quality on this thing looks really nice. You can kind of see it's just very, all the lines are clean. They did a great job of machining this. It's obviously, aircraft grade aluminum, right, which is what they all say. Tell you a little bit about the specs. It's got a little bit of a heat sink, some heat sink fins going on here, heat dissipation fins. This thing is good for 1,000 lumens maximum. Features a Cree xpl-hd LED, so it drives 1,000 lumens from either one 18650 or two CR123s. It's just a standard tail switch with a metal side switch, so that should last a while. The length of this thing's about 5.5 inches by 1 inch in diameter, and it is IPX8 waterproof and drop resistant to 1.2 meters. We're going to talk about that real quick in just a minute too, but first, it comes with a nice belt holster with a dangle D-ring, a snap closure, and a slide-through belt loop. So very nice little package here. Also comes with a pocket clip if you want to carry this thing in your pocket, which is probably what I would do most of the time. And then it comes with a lanyard and a second spare tail cap button and a couple of O-rings. And the lens shroud is crenellated so you can use it for striking. At 1,000 lumens, that's pretty bright. This could definitely be a tactical flashlight. A couple other things I want to mention about it before we get started with the testing. It has a memory mode that recalls whatever the last mode you had it on, including strobe, which I really like that, because if you're in a situation where you plan on using a strobe, if this is kind of like a tactical light and using this as a weapon or to maybe startle somebody, you really want to use this as a EDC defensive tool, then basically you put it on the strobe memory and you hit it one time, it's on strobe, you ain't got to go through anything. So if you really need it, you really want to distract somebody right now, bam, that's it. I think that's a great feature. I don't know many other flashlights that actually have that. Usually you got to do something, click something twice or 3 times or something to go straight to strobe. I like the fact that you can leave it on strobe in memory or Firefly or whatever, which is pretty cool. It's also got a couple other features that I think are cool. It's got an auto step down, so as it starts getting too hot, part of the heat management system is it steps down to the next lower level. And it also lets you know when your battery's getting really low, it flashes 3 times. It's kind of like a warning, which I think is cool too, because it's a whole lot better than just now you got light and now you don't, right? At least you have a warning. Some pretty cool features they built into the light. It also comes with what they're calling a 5-year ironclad guarantee, and that's where I want to take just a little bit of a rabbit trail and jump off down here real quick before we get to doing some of the flashlight stuff. Okay, so there's been a little bit of discussion lately about flashlight testing and reviews in the YouTube community here, and one of the things that's come up is what is reasonable testing. And so as an example of this light and what we're going to test it for, we're going to test it to what the manufacturer says it should be able to withstand. So it's IPX8, which means it is submersibly waterproof. You should be able to submerge this thing in water for at least 30 minutes or so, probably more than that, but 30 minutes is typically my standard test, and it should have no ill effects, should work fine. Okay, so we're going to do that in just a minute. It is 1.2 meter drop rated. Okay, so just so we're clear, this is not 1.2 meters. Probably about right here, almost waist high, is about 1.2 meters. So that's what we're going to test. We'll drop it on the concrete, to a concrete block. And I got to say, again, that doesn't mean throwing it up in the air and dropping it. It might last, it might not last, I don't know, but that's not what it's rated for. It's rated for 1.2 meters drop resistant. And that's where I want to talk about this warranty for a minute. So let me just read you the warranty and then we're going to talk about that real quick. This 5-year limited lifetime warranty covers all parts from manufacturing defects, including parts and labor, for 5 years. But here's the part that needs clarification. This warranty does not cover malfunctions or damage resulting from normal wear and tear. So if you just drag it around, it's not going to cover your finish or whatever. If you bang it up or whatever. Improper installation, so if you mess with it. Misuse, abuse, negligence, accident, or alteration. So if you try to mod this thing, it's not going to cover, obviously. If you throw this thing, you know, at a stack of cross ties, or you throw it at the concrete, or you run over it with your truck, or you know, whatever, that's not going to cover that. This is an electronic device. It's got circuitry and stuff in here. This is not your grandpa's flashlight, okay? This thing has got like a circuit board in it and all kinds of stuff to allow it to run at 1,000 lumens and still function. To be waterproof, to be drop resistant, not drop proof. So the bottom line is 5 years is a really good warranty. That basically they're saying that they did a good enough job on building this flashlight that it ought to run for 5 years without failing. You know, I think that's reasonable. As an example, if you buy a car, the warranty doesn't cover you running into a fire hydrant, right? That would be an accident. That would be a similar situation to dropping your flashlight on concrete. That stuff happens, guess what? You can't expect a company to be responsible for every little thing that happens. It doesn't matter what brand flashlight you're talking about. 5 years is a great warranty, in my opinion. So anyway, all that rambling out of the way, I did want to cover that because it's been a really high-profile topic about flashlights recently here in our YouTube community. So we'll make sure we cover that. So now let's get to doing some of that flashlight stuff. Okay, first of all, we got to put some batteries in there. And again, this thing works on either CR123s or 18650s. The CR123s will give you better performances concerning power because these things are 3 volts apiece. So you put 2 of them in there. If my math is right, that equals 6 volts. And I think most 18650s are 3.7 or 4.2 or something like that. So less than 6 volts. Okay, so here's how you operate it. You got a tail switch here. You're going to turn it on. Bam, it's on. You're going to cycle through the modes up here. Nothing fancy about that. So, but you got a Firefly, which is 0.03 lumens, and it's good for 1,200 hours. The next level up is low, 30 lumens, good for 70 hours. Then you got 250 lumens. Next one up, good for 6 hours. Then you got 550 for your high. It's good for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Then you got 1,000 lumens turbo, good for 1 hour and 10 minutes, which is pretty stinking good. And then your strobe is 1,000 lumens also, and it's good for 2 hours and 30 minutes. The way you access the strobe is you just hold this down, long press it. So if you're sensitive to that, just turn your head away for a minute. So just hold it down, and it's got a pretty good strobe, I think. So we're going to turn it off, check that memory function now. So we'll leave it off for about 10 seconds or so, just to make sure that any circuitry is reset. Turn it back on. It's back on the strobe. Pretty cool. I think that's great. So if you got it set for strobe, and this is maybe your tactical light or your self-defense light, or you keep it where you want, you want to startle an attacker, then just bam, there you go, you're on strobe. So I think that's really cool. Oh, also the shortcut to strobe, by the way, works in any mode. So you can have it all the way down to Firefly, and if you hold that button down for a couple seconds, it comes on a strobe. And at that point in time, every time you turn it on, it's going to be on strobe until you take it back off by pushing the button one time. So it's also got a momentary, if you just half press the back tail switch and don't turn it all the way, then you can just have it momentary on, and you can see that. So pretty standard stuff. I like the fact that it cycles right through, period. It doesn't matter. You turn it on, and wherever you got it, when you click it again, it goes to the next one. It doesn't reset itself back to the beginning or anything like that. It's just very, very straightforward, progressive, just exactly like you think it should be. At least I think it should be. So anyway, that's the operation of it, the user interface, as they say in flashlights now. Whoever thought we'd be saying that about a flashlight? So what I thought we'd do next is take you and this flashlight over to the scientific testing area here at Survival on Purpose Worldwide headquarters and put this thing through the ringer. So let's do that right now. So here I am surrounded by all this high-tech scientific testing equipment, and we are going to turn her on, put her at about a medium where you can see it. And it says 1.2 meters, which is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of here, and that's where we're going to drop it from. And this thing is so pretty, I hate to scratch it up, but I certainly would not want to be accused of not properly testing this flashlight, especially since they are a sponsor now and it is a brand new flashlight. I got to make sure it's good stuff. So we're going to drop it 3 times. I think that's a fair test. There's one. Man, that was solid. it dirty. Let's try again. We'll drop it face down this time. 2. Oh no. And we'll drop it tail down one time. 3. Okay, and we'll do one more just for fun. Oh man, that blinded me. Okay, maybe one more. Okay, yeah, everything's fine. I thought something was loose, but I think the clip had maybe popped a little loose on it. But so that's 5 drops from 1.2 meters, and just to show you that it wasn't fooling around. So got a nice little wound there, another nice little wound there. If you can wear it right there, that whole corner of that thing is dinged up now, and a couple of more wounds all over it. So I think that's reasonable. That's 5 drops. Again, this thing is not supposed to be a crowbar. It is a flashlight. And it's working just fine. Next, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put it in the old submersion evaluation assembly here that you see. Give it a 30-minute submersion test, and then we'll wait for it to get dark and we'll see how well this thing lights up the backyard. Hopefully that'll be enough information for you to make an informed decision about whether or not you think this would be a great light for you. I'm a little hesitant to open up the submersion evaluation assembly here because it has not been properly sanitized in a couple of months. I hadn't opened this thing up in a little while, so it's probably kind of nasty in there. Hopefully there's nothing living in there, but anyway, we're gonna do it. And ooh man, that ain't looking real groovy, is it? But there it is. So what I thought we'd do, man, I beat the heck out of this thing. So the we're going to turn it on down to Firefly because it's good for 1700 hours. We'll leave it there and make sure the seals are tight on it. Everything's tight, and we'll just drop it in. Boo! And there we go. Here we are. The old time says it is 5:46 p.m. New York time, and we are not, by the way, in New York. We'll give it about 30 minutes so and check that test. Okay, so here it is now. It is 6:28 p.m. So that's been about, what, 42 minutes, something like that. Let's see what we got here. Man, you don't know how bad I hate to stick my hand in here. It's cold too, man. But look, let's see what we got going on here. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, so she's a-working. Okay, it's dark now, so take a quick look at the night shots of this thing. Okay, so we're going to start out, and that is the Firefly, and that's like 0.03 lumens. That's plenty of light to see, to read by, but it gives you, it keeps it pretty subdued and doesn't destroy your night vision. So we go up again to 30 lumens. So that's about 6 feet in front of the camera, that little concrete steps there as you go out into the grass. You can see it goes a pretty good ways. We're probably looking at about 15 feet out there now, maybe 20 feet. And as you get out into this, you can barely see the old outdoor studio there. So that's the 30 lumens. Next level is the mid, is 250, and you click up to there and you can definitely see a pretty good bit in the distance out there. And I'm really pretty impressed with how it's showing up on camera, because it typically does not do as well as your naked eyes. But I can tell you, this whole backyard is lit up here with the with just 250 lumens. Click it up to the high at 550 lumens, and you can see a definite difference. This is a lot brighter and a lot more clear. Then almost double that at turbo at 1,000 lumens. You can definitely see the jump there. Really great job of lighting up. It just lights up the entire backyard. And then real quickly, we're going to check the strobe out, so just stick with it here. And there you go. So when you click off the strobe, it goes back to whatever it was on. So just for kicks, let's take a look up at the old trees up there. Those are probably 60, 70 feet tall pine trees up there. And it just, man, that lights them up, I'm telling you. Pretty cool. So anyway, there we go. So that was a little nighttime testing of the TX11 from the folks at Night Provision. And I got to say, I think the flashlight performed pretty well. I actually think they did a pretty good job of getting their level steps right. The Firefly or Moonlight mode is just about perfect for reading distance. It gives you just enough light to where you can really see pretty clearly like what you're looking at, but it's not enough to overwhelm and kind of just totally destroy your night vision. Then up to the 30 lumens, which I think did a pretty good job for just a general area lighting. Between there and 250, the 250s gives you just a little more punch. Does a pretty good job of lighting up a broader area. Then the 550, and then to 1,000. Honestly, I'm probably going to go with usually either the 30 for a round inside a tent or the 1,000 because I just like the bright, okay? But I think it did a pretty good job. I liked, again, the fact that you can just go to strobe with one button. I really like the memory feature. Sugnaras can judge a book by its cover. So anyway, that's all the details and testing and specs that I thought that I would like to see if I were trying to make a purchasing decision, and hopefully this helped you. For the viewers of this video, the folks at Night Provision, they're going to offer a 10% discount coupon, at least for a limited time, and there'll be a link right up here and one in the description where you can go and get your own TX11 from the folks at Night Provision and save 10% using that coupon code. So once again, thanks to the folks at Night Provision for sending me this so I can show it to you and for sponsoring this video financially. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for clicking that thumbs up, for sharing this video with all your friends, and thank you so very much for doing all your Amazon shopping through the Survival on Purpose links. I really appreciate the support. Once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time. With a snap and a slide. Probably couldn't see that for the box, could you? That's coming. That's coming. One of them there Cree LEDs. It's the TX11. Can we get a focus on that camera? Come on, camera, focus.